We're following breaking news for you. Coming out of the Eastern States Exposition, they've announced their second headliner for this fall's Big E Fair. Machine Gun Kelly slated to perform on September 17th, with tickets going on sale this Friday.
And many viewers have been wondering the same thing. Does this mean the Big E Fair is on for this fall? Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane is getting answers. She joins us live in West Springfield with the details. Lindsay?
Chris and Jordyn, Eastern States Exposition officials tell me they are actively planning and hoping for a 2021 fair, but at this time, nothing is set in stone. The marketing director tells Western Mass News they have to continue planning for the Big E Fair in the event that it does happen. At this time, they are waiting for official clearance from local and state officials.
We're optimistic that the fair will take place in September, but we don't have a definitive decision at this date. As we prepare for the fair, there's a lot we need to do between now and September if we are going to have a fair, and some major decisions that need to be made as we speak. And one of those has to do with entertainment. We announced last fall, that Brad Paisley was going to be here. That date is September 24th. So these are just some of the things we need to think about and plan for in order to have the fair in September.
The Big E Fair is slated for September 17th through October 3rd. Fair officials say they are planning for COVID-19 safety protocols on the fairgrounds, like social distancing and mask wearing. At this point, they say there is no timeline on when they are anticipating an official decision to be made. If the fair does have to be canceled, refunds will be made for those who buy concert tickets. I'm also told for the first time there will be no elephants at the Big E Fair. However, a petting zoo is planned on the fairgrounds for the fall. Live in West Springfield, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
Lindsay, thanks for that live report. The Department of Public Health releasing today's COVID-19 data. They say the state's positivity rate over the past 7 days sits at 1.7%. They say there have been 12 new deaths due to the coronavirus, and so far, more than 3.5 million Massachusetts residents have received one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. There are approximately 6.8 million people who live in the Bay State. For a full look at those numbers, you can check out our free Western Mass News streaming app. Now to an exclusive story that we've been following for the past year. A Western Mass man, one of the earlier COVID-19 patients in our area, was rushed to Bay State Medical Center last April, where he spent almost 80 days in a coma, and his doctors didn't think he'd make it out alive.
Western Mass News reporter Briseida Landaverde has been bringing us updates on his condition, and today they met face-to-face for the first time. Briseida joins us live in Springfield with more on their meeting. Briseida.
Chris and Jordyn, it was definitely an emotional day for Richard and myself. I've been following this story for the last year through Zooms, phone calls, and even text messages. And today, we were finally able to meet in person, and I could tell he was excited to share with me how he's doing.
You've been nothing but nice to my family and I, and like I tell everybody, you've become a family friend without even getting to meet you.
Western Mass News has been following Richard Davio's fight against COVID-19 over the past year, checking in over Zoom from time to time, from his nearly 80 days in a coma, to being released from the hospital, to him taking his first steps, to finally meeting Rich in person on Monday.
I thank God literally every day. I'm on my motorcycle, I look up to the sky and I just say thank you. Thank you.
Being a father, a brother, and friend to many in the community, Rich tells us he is beyond grateful the doctors at Bay State Medical Center were able to save him.
I get to see my daughter graduate. I get to bring her to college. I get to do those dad things.
Last week, he visited the hospital and met with the staff who helped him with the hardest battle of his life. He says it was the closure he needed.
They looked at me and was like, my God, you look amazing. I was able to thank the men and women who kept me alive.
While now, he says most days are good, he still experiences lingering side effects. Just this weekend, he was at an outdoor barbecue when the smoke became too much for his lungs.
Once I inhaled the smoke, it was just way too much for me. I just couldn't breathe.
And he still sometimes has flashbacks and nightmares from being in a coma for such a long time.
I talk to somebody now. I'm not ashamed to say it. I need to talk to somebody to help me understand the dreams and understand why I'm having these types of dreams.
But Rich says he's turning the page and is only looking for the positives. While he was skeptical to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, he wants to make sure he is doing his part to keep the community safe.
I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through. So if I can do an extra layer of protection, an extra protection, then I'll do that.
And Rich tells me after he left his visit here at Bay State Medical Center, he took a look back, took a big deep breath, and felt like weight was lifted off his shoulders, a moment I'm sure he will forever remember. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Briseida Landaverde for Western Mass News.
Briseida, thank you for that live report. Developing news now is yet another school here in Western Mass will require its students to get their COVID shot. Westfield State University says all students must be fully vaccinated prior to returning to campus for the fall 2021 semester. This includes all in-person classes, on-campus housing, or any on-campus activities for both undergrad and graduate students. The school's president also expects all faculty and staff to be fully vaccinated prior to their return to campus this fall.
A cool day today, similar to yesterday as far as temperatures go, but we got a lot more sunshine this afternoon. Beautiful blue skies. It is dry. It is breezy. Wind is out of the northwest at about 14 miles an hour. So it's definitely adding a bit of a chill in the air, especially if you live in the hills where temps are only around 50 right now. In Worthington and Great Barrington, Pittsfield and Blandford are in the upper 40s. But we're at 56 in Greenfield, 55 in Amherst, down to about 52 in Ware at this hour. Wind is still on the gusty side, anywhere between about 20 and 30 mile an hour gusts are expected to continue and then start to wane after the sun goes down. And then wind will eventually become much lighter after midnight tonight. We do have a lot of clear sky in place, like you saw on the sky cam. I mean, there's like not a cloud to be seen. You have to go out into northern New England to see any cloud cover. So that's good news. If you're planning on taking your pup out for a walk this evening, we've got Rio today for you. But it is going to be chilly, so you are going to want the sweatshirt. Moonlit skies out there tonight. We've got that beautiful full moon, so make sure that you check that out. And then by tomorrow morning, temperatures will likely be back into the low 30s. So if you're headed out for an early jog, make sure that you layer it up. But by the afternoon, we're expecting much nicer weather conditions. We will still have a decent amount of cloud cover and a bit of a breeze, but highs should hit middle to upper 60s. We'll take a look at the rest of this week's weather in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Janna, thanks. MGM Springfield looking to fill dozens of jobs, hired new employees on the spot today. It comes after hundreds were laid off at the casino during the pandemic shutdown last year.
Is this a sign of better days ahead? Western Mass News reporter Lena Jagolinzer is getting answers for us tonight.
I've come here a couple times and I just love the atmosphere here.
Cheyenne Jenkins is turning the tables from guest to employee.
It'll be a great experience to try this out.
Even with no cocktail serving experience, she was hired on the spot at Monday's hiring event at MGM Springfield. Jennifer Russell, the regional director for talent acquisition, says she never expected hundreds of people to pre-register.
We're just very excited with the turnout to see that so many people are looking for work and excited to join our team.
We asked the tough questions, like if MGM plans to bring back any of the employees that they were forced to lay off due to the pandemic.
For this event specifically, these are new hires joining us today. We are looking to have them come on board with us for this hiring event.
Russell offered no comment on the layoffs and added that the focus was on the current event underway. Interviews and offers occurring on the spot for both part-time and full-time jobs.
Different positions that we're hiring for today include our food and beverage team, so servers, cocktail servers, restaurant hosts, bussers, and runners. We're also looking for security officers and environmental services casino porters. Most importantly, cage cashiers to help us too.
Now, Russell tells Western Mass News that they have approximately 70 vacancies that they are looking to fill. And with 300 people arriving at today's hiring event, that means about a third of them are going to be walking away with a new job. Reporting at MGM Casino in Springfield for Western Mass News, I'm Lena Jagolinzer.
Now, if you missed today's hiring event, but you're still interested in joining the MGM team, visit westernmassnews.com for details on how to still apply.
A truck driver is facing charges after a deadly crash on the Mass Turnpike in Beckett Friday night. Police say 67-year-old Stanley Cardes failed to brake properly and crashed into the back of another car, which then crashed into another car. 69-year-old Gary Litwin of Ludlow was taken to the hospital where he died. His wife and the driver of the other car were also taken to the hospital and treated for injuries. Carty is charged with 1 count of motor vehicle homicide by negligent operation. Officials are still investigating the crash.
Good news for commuters in West Springfield and Agawam. The Morgan-Sullivan Bridge is fully open a year ahead of schedule. West Springfield Mayor Will Reichelt making the announcement today. It comes after Mass DOT began the bridge replacement project in the height of the COVID pandemic. They replaced the part that carries Suffield Street and Memorial Avenue over the Westfield River. The new bridge was widened to include 4 lanes for vehicles, new sidewalks, and separated 2-way bike lanes on the east side of the bridge.